While it's a wonderful thing to go to the Kashi Vishwanath temple and look at Vishwanath, the idea of our satsang is how to 24 hours access Kashi Vishwanath inside us. Because the inner meaning of Om Namah Shivaya was explained by Shankara in the Nirvana Shataka very beautifully when he said, Chidananda Roopam Shivoham Shivoham. So, while Om Namah Shivaya, I wouldn't say has been understood, but which we have looked into, the aim of life is to find out, to realize, to understand, to discover that in true essence we are, as Shankara said, Chidananda Roopam Shivoham Shivoham. So, because there are some people who are going to take Kriya, I think all, I don't know. So I need to make a little bit of spade work, groundwork, before we go into Kriya. Otherwise, if you think you can attain the Chidanandam, the Supreme Reality, simply by breathing up and down, you're mistaken. You just can't be that. Like Kabir said, the gallows of the blacksmith also breathe. There's nothing in them, there's no life. So let me start with this Chidanandam first. Chidananda, then Rupa. Chidanandam. Chit means consciousness. As different from that which is not conscious. From our understanding, from our point of view, whatever we know, little bit, that supreme reality, which is referred to as Shivam or Brahman, is referred to in the Upanishads, in one of the Upanishads, as Isha. Not to be confused with any foundations, please. It is 1,000 years old. The Ishavasya Upanishad is one of the best, one of the most important Upanishads, says, Ishavasya sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita ma gritha kasya svidhanam. So, if you try, I'm trying to explain Chidananda Roopam Shivoham Shivoham. I hope when we go out of here, we'll carry Kashi with us and go out as Shivas. Well, the ladies can say we're carrying Shakti, but it doesn't matter, the same thing. Because one very important, peculiar aspect only in Shiva, in that particular deity called Shiva, which we worship, is Ardhanarishwara also. Half Nari and half Nara. So Ardhanarishwara. So when you say Shivoham, it need not necessarily mean a male element. 1,000 years ago, people didn't have any gender confusions. They accepted everything. I think it was later that these things became so strictly divided, stratified. Because in the ultimate essence, the true self has no sex. When I say no sex, it means it doesn't matter this way or that. The inner reality has no physical organism, so you can't distinguish. It's the truth. Although we call it Shivam, it can also be called Shakti. Well, according to the Shaktas, I'm not a Shakta myself, according to the Shaktas, Shiva without the E of Shakti is a Shava. Well, I'm not prepared to admit that, but there is some element of truth in it. The E is the sound of the Shakti, which is movement. So this is why I want to explaining Chidananda. I want to go to the Ishavasya Upanishad because it's beautifully explained. Ishavashyamidam sarvam. That supreme being or the supreme reality, call it Shivam if you like, pervades everything here, which means there is not a single atom or a single thing on this, even material, forget about the spirit, in which that supreme Isha does not penetrate, does not pervade, not penetrate. So while we see the world as different units and different things, man, woman, good, bad, in true essence there is only the Isha or the supreme reality. There is nothing else. There are no opposites. There is no duality. That if it is there in everything in this earth, this world, but material objects cannot recognize it. The only difference is that the human mind can recognize it, cognize this. That's the difference. Otherwise it's there. So, Isha Vashyamidam Sarvam means that supreme being pervades everything here. So when you say everything, you can leave out nothing. It's one whole, Purna. The next sentence is Yat kincha jagatyam jagat. Very interesting. This whole universe, not this world, only the universe, is called Jagat because Yat kincha jagatyam, because it always is Jagatyam, moving. There's nothing that does not move. Everything is in a constant movement. This minute when we had the dance, now it has moved. Oh, that was, I thought she was going to do the Tanda Nirta and break all time. Anyway, it was sweet and nice. So, now it has changed, it's become a satsang. I'm dealing with something, after 2 minutes I deal with something else, interconnected of course. That's what the Upanishad is trying to say, that while everything is interconnected, everything is constantly changing, in a flux, nothing is permanent. And that supreme reality called Isha is present in this entire Jagat. And this entire Jagat is a constant movement. We all know it. Physically we know it. 10 years ago you wouldn't have found so many wrinkles in the mirror, in spite of all the parlors around. 10 years ago, with all the dyes available, you would have found so many grey hairs. You're right. A time will come when you can't pluck out because there are too many. Change. We like not to accept it, but it is a fact. Change. The world changes, the body changes, political parties change, everything changes. There's nothing that stays. So it's futile to hold on to something that is changing and think that it is not going to change. Fact. No need of any theory or any proof for this. It's a fact. We all know it. And you know the tendency to take photographs. It's the attempt of the human mind to freeze that which can't be frozen. Change. Where we like to freeze and hold something. How will we let our mind be not holding on to something. The whole process of meditation is to, we'll come to that. So, that supreme reality pervades everything here, and everything here is in constant motion, movement. Physically, yes, but about the mind, I don't have to tell you that it is constantly in motion. Even if you physically decide not to go anywhere, what about the mind? Can you stop it? Constantly in motion. Here we are sitting down. I am thinking you are listening to me. There are people here who are thinking, when is M going to Kashi Vishwanath? How can we tag on? Yes or no? So, the mind is constantly moving. One day here, one day there. 1 second here, another second there. This is the nature of things, and that's why it's called Jagat. The mind as well as the outside world. We're born, we have childhood, and then we all labor under the illusion that if I get married, I'll be happy. I mean, it may be true sometimes. And I have no complaint. And then, no, because this will be videoed. And then we grow old, then we have children. And, when you have children, you think you're continuing your life. It's okay. And then one day, we all come to the city of Shiva. And then what? Bhasmantam Shariram. You know that bhasma that Shiva puts on his body and dances in the cremation grounds. So, this is change. So, in the midst of all this change, the Upanishad says, you cannot change, you can't hold it. You cannot freeze it, however much you try. So then what? Having known that you can't change it, what can you do? Tena tyaktena vanjita. Let go and rejoice. I put it, let go and relax also if you like. So instead of trying to stop it, you can't. Can you let go of it and say, this is anyway inevitable. Can I let go of the worry and the tension that accompanies trying to freeze that which is changing? And can I stay quiet? Tena, tyaktena, let go, bhunjita, rejoice. Actually, even if you let go a little bit, you can rejoice. You're not ready to let go even a little bit. You want everything status quo, nothing works like that. Unfortunately. I would say fortunately, because it's a good thing that things are changing. So, the next statement, Ma gridha kasya sudhanam. After all, whose wealth is this? Is it belong only to you? Or is it the wealth of the Supreme that surrounds us? We might have purchased a plot of land, but after 100 years or 20 years, somebody else will purchase it. It doesn't belong to us. Whose is this anyway? The answer in the Upanishad is, it belongs to that Supreme Reality, which is the truth. And that is of the nature of consciousness, not material. That's why it's defined as Chit. Chit Anandam, Chidanandam. It's also of the nature of bliss. When I say bliss and happiness, you see there are two words, bliss and happiness. Happiness means if I go out and have a nice Banarsi pan, that is happiness. The bliss is, if the Varanasi pan can remain in my mouth forever, not possible. Either I swallow it or I spit it out. So I have enjoyed a little bit of happiness, but I cannot enjoy the bliss. Bliss means the Vedas have defined it as Anantam Anandam Brahma. That Ananda which has no Anta, Anantam. If there is something like that, that is what is known as the Supreme Reality, the Brahman. And it's with all of us, it's not only with me. That's what I love about this great teaching, that it is meant for everybody. Whether you see it or not, that's a different question. You may be called Brahma, but whether you can realize the Brahman is a different story. Yeah, actually there's somebody here whose name is Brahman. I got frightened first time. So, some people ask me, how do you remember the names of people? I said, I don't remember, that's why. Because when you remember, then you differentiate. When you don't remember, it comes when it needs to. Let go. Secret is let go. Now this let go, tena tyaktena vanjita, is also to do with our own mind creating its own misery. How? If you could let go, if you have happy experiences, please retain it. If you could let go the painful experiences that you had in life, understanding that they don't exist anymore now except in your head, half the job is done. Right? Suppose you hurt me at some point. Nowadays it's difficult to hurt, but once upon a time, maybe, you hurt me. You screwed my ear or did something. You gave me a tight slap, I don't know what. Some people out of affection can also hurt you by giving a tight hug, especially if they are big built. Anyway, intentionally, suppose you gave me a slap some 10 years ago. Now, this is a simple, straightforward, common sense question. How long does the slap last? The actual slap? 10 minutes? 20 minutes? 5 minutes? Too hard a slap, maybe 2-3 days, because one tooth might have fallen in dentist and so on. But still, how long does it actually last? The physical act of the slap, how long does it last? Few days, few times, few minutes. But does it really go? No. I carry it in my in my head. Carry it for years and years. So-and-so slapped me. It's playing like a tape. Nowadays you don't have tapes, whatever it is called. Playing on and on repeatedly, slap, slap, slap. I cannot get rid of it. With the understanding, even when I theoretically know, that actually it lasts only for 10 minutes. But I carry it for 10 years, 15 years. Sujata scolded me, whoever. It's not coming out of my head, it's inside. If I can shed it, things change. So, this worm that sits inside and says, he slapped me. The other day somebody told me that I can understand there's a worm there, but how to get it out? I said, if you visualize that much as a worm, Then you visualize little more, open the window and throw it out. So let go and revise means, can we let go of it? When you go to sleep at night, it's like a mini death every day. That is nothing to be afraid of. Death is to be afraid of only if you are attached too much to the earth. There is no fear. Yeah. Every day we have a mini death at night or in the day also when you go to sleep. And when you wake up, you're back into the world. So when you go to sleep, can we put to sleep all these ghosts that haunt us in the night and get up in the morning and say, this is a new day? You know what happens? Even if you see that person who has caused you the injury, if the person is not already dead and gone, then you cannot relate, communicate, or have any relationship with that person. Even if that person has become a saint now, because you are always carrying the slap in your head. So, to find the tranquility through which you can see the reality within yourself, you should take a positive approach to it and say, I'm dropping this. I don't want to carry this with me. I know it's not easy. It's difficult, but that is sadhana. That is spiritual practice is not merely a technique. It's how to change the mind, not just a technique. So, this Isha, the Supreme Reality, which pervades everything and does not live in any particular part of India, is the supreme inner essence, which is the essence of all life. And Shankara said, Chidananda Roopam, that's my true nature. Shivoham, Shivoham, I am of the nature of Shivam, the supreme reality. How wonderful it is if you can let go of your little identity, what is narrow confines. Expand and discover that truly you are that Shiva. Shiva. Please don't do the Thandav Nirta, but isn't it wonderful to discover that? So we are saying that infinite potential to discover this is in every one of us. But, when you want to meet somebody in the house, who's not always there, must be going out on various jobs, you might have to meet the wife. Somewhere I heard if you had to see a holy man, to first put 2 lakhs in front of the wife's feet. I don't know. Bhagavati Amma first. So anyway, so it's a good idea to deal with the Supreme Reality through that which is manifest in this world before us. And that is the feminine energy which is called Shakti. Directly, it's possible. Adi Shankara said, first eliminate everything that appears real to you till you reach the reality. But it's a tall order, not easy for most people. He adopted the technique of ne-ti, ne-ri, not this, not this, not this. It's a very analytical and extremely tough method to adopt. But it is the same Shankara who said, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. That supreme reality is only the truth, everything else is I won't say illusion, impermanent, unreal. It's the same Shankara who wrote this beautiful poem called Sundari Lady. Yasyatya yukto yadi bhavati shakta prabhavitam, in which he describes the glory of the Devi as the manifestation of the energy of Shiva in this earth tangible to us. With our limited minds, it's impossible to touch that which is intangible. We can approximate it, but you really cannot. However, if you have something which is accessible to you, which probably will lead you to that, that is the concept of the Shakti of Shiva, which is called the Supreme Reality. In fact, the two, the Shakti and the Source, are not different, they are the same. When it is active, it is Shakti. When it is inactive and completely calm, then it is Shiva. You can say two sides of the same coin. So, therefore, why I am explaining this in this satsang? Couple of things. One is, in the Brahma Sutras of Vyasa, also called Vedanta Sutras, the Chidananda Rupa or Satchidananda is explained as Asti Bhadi Priya. Asti Bhadi Priya. Asti meaning that which is, as different from that which is not but we think is. I don't know whether you get. There are many things, this entire world actually, we think it is, well it is not. There is something which is, which we can't see or sense, so we think it is not. So asti means that which is opposed to that which is not. What is not? Okay, let's look at it in a different way. How do we recognize this world we live in? How do we access the world we live in? Tell me. Yeah. Not because a book said it is there, it's through our senses. Sense organs, indriyas, and there are only five pancha indriyas. Everybody, anybody. And out of these five instruments of perception, let's put it that way, instruments of perception, we access this world and define this world. So the world is like, world is white or black or soft or hard or so on, or smells good or smells terrible. It's all accessed by our sense organs, five sense organs. And mostly we have only these five sense organs to provide data to us, the inputs to us about this world we live in. There's no other way. And then the mind takes up that data, the input, and manufactures a universe for us. Right? Right or wrong? Now, what if these organs of perception, these instruments of perception are imperfect? What if? Suppose. Imperfect or maybe illusory. What if they are so conditioned that they can't go function beyond a certain frequency? And these are the only organs we have to perceive the world. Right? So, what if they are not perfect? And therefore the inputs provided are not perfect. And therefore the mind manufactures a picture of the world based on these imperfect inputs. It could be imperfect, right? Could be. I'm not saying should be, could be. Benefit of doubt. Okay. So let's take one of these instruments of perception. One. What is the most generally important, common instrument of perception we have is the eye. We go very much by the looks. Right? Why do you think cosmetics are sold? We go by looks. Red lips, blue lips, yellow lips. Now there are green also. So, eyes are very important. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm saying eyes are important. The first impression you get is with the eyes. You see greenery, beautiful trees. You see something beautiful, eyes. Now, can the eye be a perfect instrument of input? Is seeing believing? Okay. Today morning you saw the sunrise here. Evening you will see the sunset. Right? How? Because I have eyes. Ask a schoolboy, hey son, does the sun rise and set? He'll say, no, we are taught at school, it's the earth that moves. The sun neither rises nor sets. But we live with this daily experience of the sun. It's beautiful, of course, I understand, of the sunrise and the sunset. And based on that, we say, yes, the sun is rising. Instruments of perception, how perfect are they? Now, in the same way, like somebody is jaundice, you can give the best and the tastiest of foods, it will be bitter. Not because of the food, but because of the instrument of sensation. And then as the mind side, prejudice. Everybody comes with a baggage. So that baggage is prejudiced against something else. So these are the instruments of perception which provide the inputs to the mind, and the mind manufactures our so-called logical framework, rational framework. And then I say, I'm a very rational, I stick to this framework. Inputs may be imperfect. So, the next question is, so therefore when you say asti, something is, it means something which is, which cannot be distorted by the instruments of perception. It's self-evident and not depending on the instrument of perception. And the rishis have said, the intrinsic part of yourself, the core of your consciousness, is that which can be directly perceived without being caught in the illusions of the instruments of perception. Therefore it's called asti, that which is, as opposed to that which we think is. May I give you another example? I see you all in different forms because I have a certain kind of eye. Right? My eyes are built in a certain way, convex lens, so I see you as you are. Imagine a creature whose eyes are built in a different way. You don't have to go far to imagine. The fly has a compound eye. The fly, ordinary house fly. Actually, maybe it sees more than we do. Complex. The house fly has a compound eye consisting of tiny small eyes. So how will it see us? It may see us like a Ravan, many heads, who knows? We don't know. But it will believe that it is true, right? Because that's what it perceives. And we believe this is true because this is what we perceive. So what is true? Something is true. There is existence. You exist. How I see it is different, but you exist. The world exists not as we think it exists, but its existence is there. And that existence is defined as asti, that which is. And bhadi, asti bhadi priya. Bhadi it is conscious, it is not pure material, it's of the nature of consciousness, and therefore it's also illumined. It's of the nature of light, not the light of the sun, but the natural light which remains even when the sun has set. We usually think that light is the absence of darkness. But we are saying there is a light which is there even in darkness. Bhadi, Priya. Now this is one quality. This is asti and bhadi are difficult to understand. I know that. They will say, what is all this? But puri and aloo are very nice. Whether it is asti, bhadi or whatever, it doesn't matter. So it's a little difficult for this concept to go in. But priya is something which we can understand. So I usually say, instead of saying asti, bhati, priya, start with priya, bhati, asti. Because then that priya is easier to hang on to for human beings. Why? Because we all have some priya or the other, right? Maybe in a limited form, but yes. I'm fond of somebody. There is some priyam between us. Even in a small way. And it is the most powerful emotion on this whole earth. A young couple who are in loosely put love in each other, love at each other. We are ready to run away from home, leave all their luxuries behind. Some people think it's hormonal, but whatever. And then jump into the ocean if required. What is it that drives them? Priya. And you can't exactly explain what it is. Like I said yesterday, what happens? You don't know. Something is happening. Kuch kuch. Nobody knows what. So Priya is that quality, or not quality, that aspect of the Supreme Reality which can be grasped. You see a little child crying on the street, you feel like picking him up and wiping the tears. What is this? There's no need to do that. Something comes from inside. That is Priya. And because of that, there's a whole new philosophy called the philosophy of devotion built up. Because the human being cannot get into all these rational thoughts, and it's not easy. Some people can sit like rishis in some place, but most people understand emotion. Most people understand love. Most people understand feeling. So therefore, the method by which most people can probably connect to the asti is through Priya. You must have got rid of the illusion that I am a Vedantin also. But Vedanta means many things. Advaita, Advaita, Vishishta Advaita, Bhakti Vedanta. So, if we cannot depend on our five senses, are there other senses in our system which can be activated? That is the question. Are there other instruments of perception in the human being which can be activated? The Rishi said, yes, there are. And they are the subtle instruments of perception, of which the most important one is called the third eye. Shiva is famous for that. Trayambakam Yajamahi. I go down and sacrifice myself to that three-eyed Shiva. The third eye, you can't open it by hitting a nail through your forehead, please. Doesn't work that way. only works in fiction. Like the Third Eye book written by Lobsang Rampa. It really doesn't exist. You can't put a hole through your forehead and find it. So, but there are instruments of perception in us which can be opened either through the practice of yoga or for the extremely intelligent even through thought. And the next through yoga. And third, it's also possible through one-pointed emotional involvement with understanding the truth, which is called bhakti. But please don't take the word lightly. You know what kind of bhakti we normally have. That's not enough for this. You go before God. Lord, tomorrow is my promotion day. Well, as human beings, of course, we have our weakness, I can understand. But there is something called parabhakti, where the aspirant, the devotee, wants nothing but the deity, nothing but the experience of the Supreme Reality, no matter what happens. But then you can't imitate. Your mind has to be very mature to reach there. So don't say that, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa went before the mother and said, take away everything from me, mother, I only want you. The moment she starts pulling the rug from under your feet, you'll run for cover. So don't say false things. The Supreme Being is not the fool. Say truly what you feel. Better. In a story of a lady who used to go, a grandmother, no offense to grandmothers, who used to go to a temple, like a Devi temple, and pray every day. Mother, take away everything from me, I don't want anything. What is there left for me? Not serious, of course. Every time she went, she had the complete storeroom keys in her. So one day the priest, who got fed up of hearing this every day, so it was not like this, it was a Devi with many hands. In Nepal you have a Devi with 100 hands, like that. Well, Devi with many hands. The priest went and stood behind the deity with two hands like this. You can't make out which hand. So she came and repeated the same thing. Why are you keeping me on this earth? Oh, Devi, take me away. I have nothing. I only want. She said, come. It was in Tamil Nadu. She said, Vango. I think there's a vegetarian restaurant in the airport called Vango. Come. A good friend of mine who is not from the south told me there is a vegetarian restaurant in the airport called Vango. I said, what is that? Must be Chinese. So anyway, Vango. Woman started running for her life. She said, good God, she never thought that this is going to work. It's easy to bluff God. Image. So she said, hey, just wait a minute. Who's going to look after my grandchildren? So it's not easy. People say, I have bhakti, so I don't want to do yoga. It's not so easy. Bhakti, parabhakti, or that kind of devotion which will lead you to the Supreme, if you are interested, should be like the devotion of Kunti Devi. In the Bhagavatam, there is a particular chapter. It's called Kunti's devotion. Apparently, when Krishna was leaving to go to Dwarka, to enjoy himself. Well, he can enjoy any time. So he was leaving for Dwarka. So he went to say goodbye to everybody. To those who were equal to him, he hugged. To those who were elder to him, touched their feet. Krishna. Now everybody in Bhagavad Krishna is considered to be a Purnavatara, touching somebody's feet. Here, even if I am the head of a little department in the office, I won't bow my head before my chowkidar. Not that you should touch his feet. You know what I mean. Avataras are avataras because of their qualities. Anyway, so Krishna went to touch the feet of the elders. Kunti was the matriarch of his whole family. So he goes to her, touches her feet, and he says, Kunti, now I'm going to Dwaraka. If you need to ask me for any boon, this is the right time to ask because I won't be there afterwards. So ask me whatever you want, I'm going to give it to you. So Kunti says to Krishna, hey, she didn't say hey, but might have, who knows. Because in Sanskrit also it is hey. She said, don't do all this drama before me, okay? I know who you are. I know what you are. So what is this drama? Give me, ask for boons, I will go away to Dwaraka. You don't go anywhere, you are everywhere. What the hell are you talking? She didn't say hell. So, keep that with yourself, all this drama. But you said, give me, ask for a boon and I'll give it to you. Yeah, I have a boon to ask. Can you give it to me? He said, yes. Okay. Promise that all the sorrows of this earth will fall on my head. Krishna himself is taken aback. What kind of a boon are you? What a terrible thing. Get all the sorrows of the earth on my head. He says, think twice. He said, this is what I want. And then she says, you know why? It's only when there is some sorrow that we think of the Lord. You should. And you don't tell me all this because you think that we won the battle. You started the war. Then you joined our side and we won the war. So don't. So I'm asking for this. Bring all the sorrows of the world on my head because, you know the famous statement, दुख में सिमरन सब करे सुख में करे न कोई. Token we do, light an agarbatti, really not from the heart. Something happened, bring back that fellow who went away from me. Pain. So, it's only in pain that, so she says, when sorrows keep coming, I will call you. 100% I have guarantee that when I call you, you'll appear. So one sorrow I call you, appear. Another sorrow I call you, appear. You are appearing all the time. So what more do I need? I need only you. This is why I'm asking you. I don't mind suffering. I want you. This is not easy, so let us do it in step-by-step, systematic yogic way. Since we are not ready to do this. Maybe there are rarely somebody who can do this, plunge into it. But otherwise, systematically through the process of meditation, through yoga, or through understanding through Vedantic teachings, we can go slowly towards it. So, if you want to go in the yogic way, then the most important thing is to understand that apart from the 5 organs of sensation, we have other instruments of perception which can be activated, which are normally not active, latent. The whole process of yoga, including Kriya Yoga. Interesting to note that Patanjali describes his teachings as Kriya Yoga. if you read the Yoga Sutras. So, there are ways and means by which the instruments of perception may be activated. Now you might think, how can there be other instruments of perception? We don't see any instruments. Okay. I need to give you one example to look at. When we go into Kriya, I'll explain the other things, but some years ago, 100 years ago, the great anatomists and physiologists of the Western world, because we didn't have any here at that time, Sushruta and Charaka had long passed by, found out, said that among the organs in our system, one organ which is called the Vermiform Appendix, there are doctors, they would know. If it bursts in an emergency, you need to do appendix. So, surgery. So, there's one which is called a vestige organ. That means organ which is a waste, nobody knows why it is there. Just like that. In the same way, they said, there is one little gland in the brain which is also useless, which is a vestige organ. They didn't find any use for it. Even having seen the fact that it contained cones like that which is contained in the optical system that we have. It's a very small little thing, like a little green chili loam, not as big as the Punjabi one, small, inside the head. And it's in the midbrain, near the pituitary gland, close to the limbic system, which is at the back. I'm saying all this in detail because some of my good friends are neurologists, neurosurgeons, so I sat with them lest I utter some blunder in public. So, in that little, it's part of what we call the endocrine system, the ductless glands. And they thought it was a complete wastage organ, useless thing. Around 60 years ago, they discovered that it has a very important function to perform. It's the master gland that controls your sleep and waking cycle. The neurologists and the psychologists, psychiatrists call it the circadian rhythm, sleeping and waking cycle, the circadian rhythm. They figured out that, oh yes, this has some effect. When it becomes dark, when you pull the curtains, then the pineal gland releases a small drop, not like in a filler, very infinitesimal drop, into your bloodstream, and you feel comfortable and sleepy. And what does it inject into the system? A chemical called melatonin. So if you travel abroad and if you come back after many days, you go through many time zones even there, and then you have jet lag, because this is completely confused. It doesn't know what is night and what is day, and you get a complete confused. You can't sleep, you are awake when you should sleep and sleep when you should be awake. This is called a jet lag. So what does the doctor suggest? Eat a melatonin tablet, which is available in the market now, so that it is adjusted. Not for people like me. There are people, good friends here who travel with me. I don't have a jet lag. You have, do I have a jet lag? People who travel with me half an hour, maybe 3 hours, 2 hours, and then everything is in order. Can be activated. That which is sleeping can be activated. Now I said 60 years ago they discovered that the pineal gland has an important function. 100 years ago, Swami Vivekananda, who had no access to X-rays or any kind of instrument said that the pineal gland is the stem of the Sahasrara, the 1,000-petaled lotus. How did he know? But it was not guesswork, he was 100% sure. So what I am trying to say is that we live in this world in a three-dimensional conditioned response, because we only have these instruments of perception and the mind which manufactures theories out of the inputs. Therefore they are generally imperfect inputs. What I am trying to say, perhaps if we expand the inputs, then the brain might be, I'm saying brain because you can't look at the mind anywhere else in the body, the time being, that it is the brain that manufactures a theory of existence for us from these limited inputs. So can we expand these inputs? Are there instruments of perception which can be opened up? Can the third eye be opened up? Can the ajna be opened up? Can the muladhara be opened up? Can the swadhisthana be opened up? Can the manipura be opened up? Can the sahasrara finally be opened up? This is done. From the yogi's point of view, Lahiri Mahashaya, who lived in Banaras, said, Shamacharan Lahiri said, for the yogi, Varanasi is here. The Ida and the Pingala are the Varuna and the Asi rivers. They cross together here and go to the Sahasrara. And here sits Kashi Vishwanath in splendor, nicely bhanged. So, we also teach a way of becoming a bhangi without eating bhang. The intoxication of understanding the inner and realizing that your inner Chidananda Roopam Shivoham Shivoham is the aim of spiritual practice. Well, if you are a devotionally minded person and if you are like Kunti, then you don't have to do any of these things. Just go there. In fact, Babaji always used to ask, he used to say that don't believe that Kriya is the only way to salvation. Well, he said, if you want to sell Kriya, you can say that. We are not in the process of selling anything. Those who want, take it. Those who don't want, leave it. That's it. So, Babaji always used to say, don't think that Kriya is the only way to salvation. And the example he usually gave was, he asked me, what Kriya did Mirabai practice? And to the other side, pure Jnana, Jnana Marga, what Kriya did Ramana Maharshi practice? Nothing. You can't say they didn't reach their goals. However, everybody is not Ramana Maharshi. Everybody is not Mirabai. So we have this little Kriya which you can hold on to and move forward until you come to a stage when you say, I'm dropping this too. You can. But please, not because of laziness. People who do Kriya for 3 months and then say, now, sir, I don't need it. Why I am all there? I said, but I am still doing it. That's called tamo guna, not wanting to do. So, the next satsang session is Kriya. Please, those who don't want to take Kriya need not be here. Those who seriously want to practice it have to be here. We'll explain about that. And those who have already taken from Kriya from me, which means those who are not practicing it, can also sit when I give Kriya to the new people. And then after the new people, for me nobody is new, old. And the new people have left, then we will do the review for half an hour, for those who have already done. So we need a 10-minute break now, and then we come together again at 11 o'clock. Is that okay? You might go to the toilet, because start doing Kriya, then you can't run. And if you like, if there is tea, you can have a cup of tea.